uh, New York session analysis. If you're there this afternoon, you can hear me loud and clear. Please type a yes in the comment section. Thank you to that person. That's Mr. Timothy. Good afternoon. And Kinancy, good afternoon to you. Timmy Upper. All right, so let's start. So this afternoon, there are a lot of fundamental events, especially from the United States. About 5 events thereabout are being anticipated to be released. Good afternoon, Damila Ray, Madam Onaji. Good afternoon, and Biodo also. So we're having a lot of fundamental events from the United States, like I said. And the first one will come up by 2:30 p.m. And that is the prelim GDP quarterly. And let's quickly take a look at what this is all about. Prelim GDP quarterly is a measure of the annualized change in the value of all goods and services produced by the economy. And actual greater than forecast is good for the currency. And unemployment claims, on the other hand, is a measure of the number of individuals who filed for unemployment insurance for the first time during the past week. Actual less than forecast is good for the currency. Now we need to take note here. One actual greater than forecast is good, the other actual less than forecast is good for the currency. So we're not going to be putting our attention on which is greater than or less than. Our focus is going to be on the color of this data. If overall the color comes out good for the dollar, we'll have a green outlook here. In which case, if it comes out like this, we're going to look at a massive bullish movement on the dollar. That's the expected thing to happen. And if on the other hand, the data all comes out bad for the dollar, we'll be looking at an opportunity to sell the dollar, because at that time, the dollar is going to be very, very weak. So this event this afternoon is one you cannot afford to play with. You need to wait till it's released. And if it's all green, you can buy the dollar. If it is all red, you can sell the dollar. And that's what I can say from the fundamental side of this. I'll move over now to my technicals and we'll look at the charts. And the chart I'll be looking at this afternoon is actually the dollar, the USD card. All right, so this is the USD card on a daily time frame. Now, if you have followed my analysis of this instrument for a while, I've been very long term on the USD card. Now, it looks like the analysis is about to finally get, go in the direction I've anticipated for like a month thereabout. I'll still flip back for those who may be joining us for the first time. USD card hit a resistance zone earlier on. I think that was in January, and that led to some bearish movement. And I've said it times without number that on 1 hour, when it hits resistance on the monthly, we are expecting an opportunity to sell. Though it has not happened much yet, but that is the anticipation. If price could not break out above a resistance level or resistance zone. Now, on the daily time frame, this is what is happening to USD CAD. We can see that this instrument is finally forming the head and shoulder, which will now lead to a further sell or further bearish movement on the USD CAD. So technically, we're bearish on the USD CAD. Now, on the other hand, if the news from the dollar this afternoon, if it all comes out good for the dollar, the USD CAD will sell. I'll repeat that. If the news this afternoon comes out good for the dollar, either all the events good for the dollar or majority, maybe 3 out of 5 or 4 out of 5 comes out, good for the dollar, then USD CAD, pardon me, I think I'm mixing it up. If the news comes out good for the dollar, USD CAD will buy. Pardon me, it will buy if it comes out good for the dollar. And if it comes out bad for the dollar, USD CAD is going to sell. Now, where I'm going is this. I am more favorable towards a sell on the USD CAD, and this is my reason. Fundamentally, the Canadian dollar is very, very strong at the moment. That is, the CAD is bullish. So if the data comes out bad for the USD CAD, that means that the dollar will be weak while the CAD is buying. So that will lead to a massive sell on the USD CAD. So I'll repeat that again. If the data comes out bad for the dollar, that's going to be a good one for us to sell the USD CAD because the head and shoulder, that will have completed the second shoulder in this pattern, and that will lead to a sell-off. But on the other hand, if the data comes out good for the dollar, yeah, USD CAD will buy, but that will still be a short-term buy because the long-term direction of the USD CAD is actually bearish. All right, so we'll look out for an opportunity to sell the dollar if the data comes out bad for the dollar. And aside the USD CAD, there are other CAD pairs that we should also put our attention on, and that is the Euro CAD. So put our attention on the Euro CAD. Euro CAD closed yesterday on a resistance zone and also with a rejection candle. So in the course of today, we will be looking at an opportunity for a bearish breakout on the Euro CAD. So that's the daily time frame. Let me flip down to the 1 hour. All right, so we can see that the Euro CAD is also forming a shoulder, a head, and second shoulder on 1 hour. So how do you trade this particular one? If price breaks out below the recent low, the recent support level around this region, if a new candle, if it reverses and a new candle opens below this level, then it will be a time to trigger a sell on the Euro CAD. All right, that'll be all from analysis this afternoon. Do you have any questions as a roundup?
I'm sorry, sir. Please, I didn't get what you said. And will happen if news for USD CAD. Did you say that if news is good, that it will sell?
I said I actually made an error the first thing I said. And what I said is that if the data comes out good for the dollar, the USD CAD will buy, but it will be a short-term buy because the Canadian dollar is very strong. But if the news comes out bad for the dollar, it will lead to a better sell on the USD CAD because that means that the dollar is now weak while the Canadian dollar is strong. So that will lead to more volatility for price to drop downwards. So we're looking at a scenario where the data comes out bad for the dollar. Preferably if it's a red scenario, perfect one. The USD CAD will sell.
Because what I'm asking is, since Euro CAD is bearish, is it possible for both of them to be selling at the same time?
Very possible.
Since both of them have a CAD as a base instruments.
No, the CAD is a quote currency in both of them. Or the dollar, the dollar will be moved by the fundamental.
Quote, I mean, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The dollar will be moved by the fundamental.
Oh, okay. They don't have, okay. But they're on this technical.
While they use, the USD CAD is technical, it's at the resistance level and it's forming a head and shoulders.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome. You're welcome, man. Other people are dropping. USD CAD 2 is expected to sell GBP AUD. Okay, I'll look at GBP USD, GBP AUD gold. All right, so let's start with the GBP AUD. Now, GBP AUD is actually trading around, I think, a resistance level. Just give me a second to scroll there. All right, so this is GBP AUD. Now, GBP AUD on the monthly time frame, this is the resistance on the monthly time frame. Let's check the weekly, the daily, the 4 hour. All right, so on the weekly, monthly, daily, price is yet to actually hit the major resistance on those levels. Price may still need to go up to hit it. But that does not necessarily mean that price cannot reverse because on the 4 hour, price is actually trading within the range of a 4 hour resistance. Just a second. That's the range there. So if price is not able to break above this resistance zone, then we should expect a sell. So currently, GBP AUD is in a range. A breakout upwards means it's going to buy, a breakout downwards means it's going to sell. So please, trading is a lot of caution. It's in between buying and selling at the moment. All right. And for GBP USD, now GBP USD is equally ranging. If you are not on a trade, I will advise you avoid it. It's actually in a range. Though technically, it's still trading around the resistance level, but there's no much volatility around it. And that's why you need to trade. If you have to trade it at all, you trade with a lot of caution. But the fact remains that yesterday, the day closed as a rejection candle around this resistance zone on the daily time frame. This is the 4 hour, and let's check the 1 hour. You can draw a trend line and another one at the back to form a rising wedge pattern. So depending on how the market moves, if price breaks out below this lower trend line, you may see a sell-off on the GBP or price may go up to hit this resistance, then fall. Now we are holding a bearish outlook on the USD card, so it would be technically not right to hold a bearish outlook on the GBP USD, But then let's just watch this instrument closely and see how it unfolds. But the possibility around it is that price could go up to hit the resistance and later drop. Now, this is a rising wedge pattern, is actually a bearish pattern, but I will advise you trade with caution. If you are not on any trade at the moment, please stay out. Let's watch how the market will move first before we now come back to follow what is on the chart. GBP card, and I've done GBP, GBP card, gold, US oil, and GBP AUD. A lot of people have interest on the GBP pairs today. All right, so this is the GBP card. Price actually hits or is trading within a resistance, which is a range also on the daily time frame. Price has touched the high and the low of this, pattern. So the next wave of movement for this is actually bearish. The bearish direction is the next wave of movement for the GBP card. And if we take a closer look, we can come down to 1 hour time frame. And we can clearly see on 1 hour also that the GBP card is forming a shoulder, a head, a second shoulder, and then we'll have a drop. So it's getting anticipated for a bearish breakout. So we're bearish on the GBP card. GBP USD. Okay, I think I've talked about GBP USD, GBP card, GBP AUD. All right, so we'll look at AUD JPY and you're welcome, Solomon. AUD JPY and which one? And I think gold. I see gold somewhere. Now, most of the JPY pairs are going in the same direction. So that's for those asking about Euro JPY, GB JPY. I'll just touch the AUD JPY and gold. AUD JPY, gold, and US oil. Okay, so this is the AUD JPY. And as you can see, price is trading around a support zone. That's a support zone over there. And we're expecting a bullish movement in price. So price being at the support means we are looking for an opportunity to buy. And with a falling wedge pattern, that further strengthens our resolve to buy this instrument. Now, there's something I'm saying that will happen. Price has broken out above the trend line, but it may drop further before breaking up. If it drops further, then it will complete an inverse head and shoulder pattern, retrace, and break out upwards. So I hold a bullish outlook on the AUD JPY, and similar patterns can also be found on the Euro JPY, the GBP JPY, and the others. We are bullish on Euro JPY. So somebody is saying that, I think he said it's on a buy. Okay, yes, part of us, if you're on a buy on AUD JPY, I will say hold it. But please take note, it's very, very possible that we'll have a retracement force. So this is why your account size comes in. Can your account size carry the negative? If yes, no problem. But if no, you may close the trade and re-enter later when it's already in a bullish move. So this is what I see will happen: inverse head and shoulder, then a breakout upwards. All right, I'll look at gold and US oil and we'll close there. Okay, so this is gold. Gold is approaching a support zone on the 4-hour time frame. Gold will be influenced by the news in the afternoon by 2:30 p.m., that dollar news between 2:30 and 4 p.m. If the news comes out good for the dollar, gold may break this support zone. And if the news comes out bad for the dollar, gold might reverse into the bullish direction. So gold is actually at the midpoint of either buying or selling, and it's the market conditions that will determine the final direction that will win. A breakout downwards is a sell, and a reversal upward is a buy for gold. And finally, I'll look at the US oil. US oil. All right, so this is US oil. This is a weekly time frame, daily. Okay, so on the daily time frame, price closed as a rejection candle yesterday on a support level or support zone. And if you go to the 4-hour, let's go to 15 minutes, 1 hour. In reality, this is not really looking so clear. So if I thought you want to trade this, please trade with caution. Otherwise, just go by the other analysis I've done. I'm not giving a guarantee on this one. Now, this is US oil on the 1 hour. And this looks like a falling wedge pattern. But the area I'm not so comfortable is the fact that this is not a clear inverse head and shoulder. However, if price breaks above this trend line, we may look at buying. But if it just gets there and it's not giving us information to buy, we'll just close the trade. That's if you have it on. While all the bullish outlook pending the time when price breaks above that upper trend line to go into the bullish direction. All right, that'll be all from my end this afternoon. I want to encourage you to trade safe and enjoy the rest of the day. Bye-bye.
Thank you.